So if I can have you come back, I think all of you hung your posters up. This time, instead of sharing how your experience went, because the last time we just shared how it went, it was a little therapy session on essential questions. Now we are going to share what we actually created. So I'm going to have each group share their question and maybe just a little bit about maybe the grade level it was expected for, and anything else that you'd like to share. So let's just go in order. Who was the kindergarten table? Oh, thank you. Would you be willing to read your questions to us?
One question we know what the standard. How does
Oh.
tell us the question?
The standard. They're curious.
Make observations to determine the effect of sunlight on Earth's surface. One question said, or asked, how does sunlight affect Earth's surface? What would happen if there was no sunlight? Why are the days longer in certain seasons? Why are days getting colder?
Okay, thank you. All right, how about another group? Oh, we're going in order. First grade. Oh, okay.
Ours is on this door here. We have first grade, and the standard is plan and conduct investigations to provide evidence that vibrating materials can make sound and that sound can make materials vibrate. So one of our questions was, how do we hear noise? And then our other question was, how does sound affect movement? But I think our biggest aha moment was having all of us together to create these questions. So that collaborative piece is, I think, very important.
Thank you. Second grade?
Our standard was construct an argument with evidence that some changes caused by heating or cooling can be reversed and some cannot. And our question is up front. I wrote it in a highlighter. I apologize. It was, how does heating and cooling affect different objects?
Thank you. And third grade?
Our standard was construct an argument that some animals form groups that help members survive. And then our question was, what are the benefits of living in a community?
Okay, thank you. How about the last, or 4? I guess we have 4 and 5 left.
We had identify evidence from patterns in rock formations and fossils and rock layers to support an explanation for changes in landscape over time. So we kind of did the big umbrella and did how does time create change? And then we took a social studies science perspective. So we did how do layers of the earth show change over time? And how does land changing over time affect people?
Thank you. And 5th grade?
Our standard, use models to describe that energy in animals' food used for body repair, growth, motion, and to maintain body warmth was once energy from the sun. And our question, what role does the sun play in providing nutritional health and growth?
Okay, thank you. One thing that keeps coming up through many groups when I'm visiting is that there's a lot of questions about how narrowed in do I make this question? And so I know Mark mentioned it earlier, and then we keep kind of getting back to that idea is that like I said, there could be questions that are essential that go over years. You could have one just for the year of your class. You could have one for your unit. So many of these, once again, since they are at the standard level, probably are going to be more of those narrowed in questions. But you can also write those overarching questions. So when I came to this group over here, they had the 3 wonderful questions, and they were trying to determine which one really is the biggest question, and then the other ones still are very engaging to students, and those are more of like a unit type question. So they're just like with our students, when we're creating questions, there's no, you have to know what the scope is that you're trying to get at when you write your question. Yes, thank you.
Question for Mike. I know that we're probably all going to go back to our buildings to try and share this information with our staff. It would be helpful if we could get like that little format right there. What was the question and the grade levels on it, and then what were the big questions we came up with? Because I think that would generate some ideas for staff. We can do an exercise very similar to this with the science standard, go through a grade level, and that might get everybody ready then to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Anything else that you thought from this activity? Any new thoughts about writing essential questions?